Parents, when did you realize your love wasn't enough to protect your child? Let me tell you about the moment I found out that even the strongest love can sometimes fall short. My daughter, Ava, was always the light of my life. She was smart, kind, funny, and honestly, she never gave me trouble growing up. While most teenage girls were obsessed with boy bands like One Direction or Big Time Rush, Ava couldn't care less. No crushes, no late-night texting, no secret giggles with friends about boys. I used to joke that she might just end up living with her best friend and a bunch of cats, and I was fine with that. At least she'd be safe. But then, something changed. She was 16 when I first noticed it. She came home from school one day, and she looked different. Her eyes had a spark in them, and her cheeks were a little red. But not like she was sad or sick. It was something else, something new. She looked dreamy. As a dad, I felt it immediately. There was a boy. But I didn't say anything. Because I knew that if I brought it up, she'd shut down. That's how teens are. So I pretended I didn't notice. But over the next few days, it became clear. She started spending more time on her hair. She bought new clothes. She was always smiling at her phone. And she wore makeup, not a little, but a lot more than before. Even though I joked before about boys, deep down I was okay with her falling in love. It's a part of growing up. Then one day, she surprised me. She walked into the living room, sat beside me and said, "Hey Dad, how do you know if a boy likes you?" I froze for a second. My little girl was asking me about boys. I smiled, trying to hide the weird mix of pride and panic inside me. "Well," I said, "most boys are idiots. If he really likes you, you'll know. If you're not sure, that probably means he doesn't." She rolled her eyes. "I'm not unsure, I was just asking." Classic teenage response. I didn't push it, I just sat there quietly, letting her feel safe around me. And after a few minutes, she smiled again, like nothing happened. And that moment, it felt like sunrise after a long night. That's what fatherhood feels like sometimes. But soon, the happiness started to fade. A few days later, she began coming home late. Not too late, maybe around 6 instead of her usual 4. But with no real reason. I didn't question her yet, I wanted her to come to me. But something in my gut told me that something wasn't right. Then it happened. One evening, she came home wearing a short skirt, way too short for school rules. And on her neck was a purple mark, a hickey. She looked at the ground, avoiding my eyes. She already knew I'd seen it. "Honey," I asked softly, "who's the boy you're seeing?" "I don't want to talk about it," she replied, almost like a whisper. But I guess she saw the worry on my face, because after a moment, she added, "Dad, he treats me really well. He buys me things, he makes me feel special. He's not married, I mean he's not in a relationship. And I think he loves me." "Wait, married?" That one word hit me like a truck. I raised my eyebrow. "Married?" She went red in the face, panicked, and ran to her room, slamming the door. I sat there in silence. Everything in me felt off. Something wasn't right. I knew teen boys, I used to be one. And most of them didn't have money for gifts. Plus, Ava was always careful with her words, until now. That gut feeling grew stronger. So I grabbed the family iPad. She didn't know that her camera roll was synced to it. I never told her. Usually it was harmless stuff, selfies, Instagram screenshots, random group chats. But this time, my heart dropped. There she was, in a photo, sitting on a man's lap. Not a teen boy. A man. And I recognized him immediately. Mr. Dalton, her English teacher. Suddenly, everything made sense. The extra compliments at parent-teacher meetings. His praise of Ava. The weird vibe I always got but ignored. And worse, he was retiring soon. The parent group chat was planning a gift for him. My hands were shaking. My stomach turned. I wanted to throw the iPad across the room. I wanted to find him, drag him out, and beat him until he couldn't move. But I didn't. I knew this was a delicate situation. If I went too far, I could lose Ava's trust forever. So instead, I took a deep breath and knocked on her bedroom door. She opened it slowly, and I walked in, sitting on the edge of her bed. I looked at her and said, "Sweetheart, I want you to know that no matter what, I support you. I hope you and your boyfriend are happy. Let him know I send him my best." Her face lit up. She smiled so big and hugged me tightly. "Thank you, Dad. You're the best. I'll tell him." She didn't know it, but I was dying inside. Every word hurt. But I had to play it smart. Because the next day, it worked. Mr. Dalton messaged me. "Good afternoon, sir. Just wanted to say Ava has been doing really well in class. You've done a great job raising her." I replied politely. We chatted for a bit. Then I invited him to dinner. He accepted. What he didn't know That would be his last meal.